Oh, dropping stuff. How are you, Pat?
I'm great. Yeah, just play the intro right there. I think that was a good way to
Okay.
kick things off. We have not spoken for a few weeks due to some scheduling conflicts, which means we have a little backlog in the mailbag, which is a fun thing to try to say 7 times in a row. So I guess we might want to just get right to it. I don't know. Did you want to get right to it? And then I'll ask you how you are after that.
I'll get right to it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, this is a segment nobody likes, but like we always say, we're going to stop reading them
When you stop
writing
sending them.
Yep. Damn it. See, we're so out of practice, even though we never say it right. We've even said it worse this week. Yep, it's the mailbag, folks. Getting right to it.
Sorry.
Laura in Atlanta asks, "Hi, Tom. Quality or quantity?"
Both. I'm fucking greedy.
Whoa.
What about you? I feel like I never ask you these questions back. Like they're all directed at me, but they're not.
Well, the writers never ask me that.
Oh, it does say hi, Tom. What about you, Pat? I imagine you're...
I guess it would depend on what, depending on the circumstance. Like most things in life, it depends on the circumstance.
Depends.
And try to use
That sounds like you,
hopefully
Pat.
this is
So practical.
a court of some kind has ruled on the issue before, and you can use past experiences to best judge the right call for the right instance. To paint with broad strokes is to
Be bad at art.
probably do bad.
Yep.
yeah, right. Your art's going to be so no, unless it's pointillism would need a smaller. I don't know that many terms for art. Frankie in Durham asks, "Hi Tom, are you a Libra?"
I don't even want to answer this question and entertain the notion that astrology is okay. So let's move on.
Okay. Sam in Austin says, "Hi Tom, are you a Libra?" Oh, actually, that's the first time we've doubled up. We got to start screening these. Get the interns on it. That's the first for the show. And are you going to answer Sam's version, or are you just going to say no to that one as well?
I'm going to say, if you put any mental energy...
Whoa. I can already feel the heat from this take resonating through the microphone.
If you give astrology any validity, I think you need to re-examine more than one aspect of your life.
All right. A hot take before the end of the mailbag is through, which is the goal, of course. Thanks for everyone for writing in. Even though you are all so vocal about not wanting us to do that particular segment, we get flooded with mail. So what do you want? Make up your minds, people.
We didn't have any pictures of feet requests this time, so I'll count it as a win.
Oh, a win? Okay.
A win.
Yeah, it is mostly appendage related. Tom's appendages specifically. And down with the vocal minority. We're just going to keep reading them if you keep writing them like we like to say. But yeah, you had a big week. You have a lot to catch up on. I will ask you, how are you, first of all? And second of all, walk us through everything. You've been through a lot.
Wow. Yeah, we haven't spoken in 2 weeks. The audience may not have noticed because we, as the professionals we are, recorded an episode in advance. We put it out, and everything went swimmingly. So pat ourselves on the back a little bit there. But yes, I was in Texas, Fort Worth specifically, for work training with a new job at Tesla. And a lot happened, man. There's a lot of stories.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of Tesla news this week. Do we even want to touch that? Or
about what?
Oh, people claiming Elon is union busting and lots of hullabaloo around the company.
Well, yeah, people are trying to short the stock, so they're trying to come up with anything they can. But yeah, he's not a particular fan of unions, and I'll criticize him for that. You know that he is my hashtag daddy, but I'll criticize him for that.
In a weird way, you using that particular phrase kind of defines exactly what you mean by what Elon Musk is to you. So those listening, keep in mind what we're working with here.
Also, if you need any more, if you type God in my phone, it autocorrects to Elon Musk. This is not a joke.
Tom, like I said, you could have left it at hashtag daddy. I think everyone Yeah, you were more than clear.
He's
No,
my
just
daddy
kidding.
god. You know.
Okay, moving on. You went to Fort Worth for work.
And I didn't really
He's my
know.
That's. Pardon me. I lost
That's a
my
show title
composure.
if I've ever heard
But
one.
yeah, perhaps we're just. This only has to be an 11-minute episode to the delight of whoever's listening, because we're crossing off all the boxes instantaneously.
So, yes, work training. I didn't know what to expect from Fort Worth. It's about nothing. But, let me start at the beginning. Still in
The
Denver.
Seinfeld of work trips.
Yeah, we had to go into Dallas to have fun, pretty much. But let me bring it back to the Denver airport. And I have a question for you, Pat.
Yo.
Do you fly often? Or, yeah, you flew to see Jesse quite often when you were still doing long distance. So when you would go to the airport, say your flight was at 6:30 p.m., what time would you show up to the airport, taking out any work schedule complications? Like, what time would you get
I'd say
there?
I got more aggressive with my lateness through flying more.
Okay, sure.
So I would be slow to criticize anybody who doesn't fly a ton for not wanting to miss their flight, I guess. And I will say I usually count I want to be there when they start boarding, I guess, right? So I'll count a half an hour back from the depart time, and then I'll give myself an hour to go through, just in case there's an awful line.
Sure.
And I usually just try to arrive at the airport at an hour before it takes off, I guess. So, and I'm usually about half an hour away from the airports I've lived near. So I would say I leave my house an hour and a half before the flight takes off.
Gee, wait, an hour and a half before it takes off. So an hour before boarding.
I guess so, yeah.
You're fucking mental, bruv.
Whoa. Is that from our sister station coming in there? Little Winnipeg action.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, if you said the flight's at 6:30, it would board at 6. I'd want to get there at 5:30 for sure.
Okay.
But I mean, I've lived in Cincinnati and Albuquerque and Cleveland. I'm not elbowing LaGuardians. You know what I mean? LaGuardians of
Right,
the galaxy aren't.
I think, there's definitely
threatening
a
my
lot to say
vacational
for that.
needs.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the Sunport in Albuquerque, I could have left my house when they started boarding and still had leg room. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or a seat next to me that was free to, I don't know, lay.
Okay.
Do people? I don't know. Whatever.
So I ask because I'm the person that gets there 3 hours early. And
Oh, okay. Based on the show notes, I had assumed you were just going to rip the dads of the world. Nice socks, douche. Also, how's it feel to stand here forever? I don't know. Not that all dads wear bad socks, but
I'd rather be there forever early and not have to worry about it because I got a ride with the guy I was going to Texas with, who was a cool guy. I knew that we would get along, but I didn't realize how well we'd get along till we were in a hotel together, separate rooms. But his girlfriend picked me up and we drove out there. And we got there 15 minutes before boarding. I was like, holy shit.
to the airport. Whoa.
To the airport.
Did you make it?
And to make matters worse, internally, I'm losing my mind. I'm
Sure,
freaking out.
sure.
Stress, right?
Which is status quo, but still.
And I don't want to show it because I don't really know the dude. And he's like, we're walking and I'm kind of doing a weird power walk thing to just try to get there. And he's like, oh, let me get a drink of water. And he'll walk over to the drinking fountain to get some water.
Comically,
I'm oh dude, okay. So we're walking and he's like, oh, let me get something out of my bag. So he kneels down, gets his bag out. I was like, dude, oh my God. I'm freaking out, right? And just the whole time he's like, I'm going to grab a snack. I'm like, dude, get on the fucking plane.
Did you make it?
Just we did, but this is what drives me crazy. I always get the cheapest ticket, which means you board last. And with Southwest, they don't assign seats. So you just get whatever. We were boarding A, 2, and 3. We were the second and third people on that plane because we were traveling for business. You get the hookups. We showed up 20 minutes after boarding started, so we ended up still getting shitty seats because we weren't there early enough to get the good seats. So we made it, but not great seats. It was an adventure. Of course, I wouldn't be telling a story about how I sat at the airport for 3 hours.
I will say this about Southwest seating. I'll go on and like want to be near the front because I don't like to wait when you unload. That's like my I'm willing to just take a middle seat so I wouldn't have to spend an extra few minutes on the tarmac.
Sure.
And like some guy was like, he's like, hey, there's empty seats back there. You know, I'm like, all right, easy. Like, you know what you got yourself into. You know what I mean? Like, fly first class if you're going to open your fucking mouth about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was just like the fucking nerve. And again, like, with that said, if the flight attendants are informing us, like, hey, everybody, if we all pitch in and spread out, then we're all going to have plenty of room to put our feet on top of the seats in front of us. Or, you know, it's like, all right, cool. They're letting us know that this is what's up. It's like, no, this is going to fucking fill up. And I don't want to spend any more in this sweaty, bullshit, smelly tube because flying is busing anymore. And it's just like, fucking keep it to yourself. I don't know. It's just like, the fucking, I don't know. It really upset me. I was like, but the thing that upsets me more, and it wasn't even in the comment, it was that I listened and like kept going. Like, I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I guess in this life we will not be good mates or good friends. That's unfortunate. I had high hopes for us. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Southwest being like, we're the airline that cares, but also pit everyone against each other immediately upon the purchase of a ticket.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
So yeah, not a fan. I don't know if it's like the Mad Men thing where Don Draper's like, people really just want to be told what to do and told what kind of character they are in life. But it's like, yeah, I'm cool with the seat assign. Having my seat assigned on a plane, I guess, to say the least. Anyway, that was a quick sojourn into my disturbed subconscious. After you, my good sir, you made the flight. That's good news.
Yeah, but even before that, I got to tell you about George. Before we made it to the flight, waiting in security, we ran into a guy named George, and I feel like I need to tell you everything about this guy. We're going into the security line, waiting for the queue, and there is a hug pile of 14 guys.
What?
And
no, back up. A hug pile?
Yeah. They're standing. They're not on the ground. They are all hugging each other and all muttering something I couldn't quite tell. And I was like standing there laughing just because I thought it was funny. And they're like, oh, hey, everyone move. These guys got to get through. And I was like, you all join. You know, like, let's all just hug it out. I don't know what's going on, but let's do it. And there was a guy in the middle that I saw they were all hugging. And they were talking to him. His name was George. And all these guys that were hugging George are now outside the security line. And every time George goes through the queue and he's close to them, they all embrace him. And they started like fake interviewing him, like holding invisible microphones, asking him questions. And I couldn't quite hear what was going on because they were a little bit farther away. And they were all like, oh, George, yeah, we love you, George. And then George was like, hey, you're going to have to say goodbye here because once I get through security, there's only a glass wall. So they all hugged him. And then we go through security. I'm thinking all these dudes are gone. We're going down the escalator to the train to get onto our terminal. And all these dudes, 14 of them, are sitting on the floor looking through this tiny glass window, all waving to George, who is behind us now. And like, I started thinking like, who is this guy? Like all these kids are like maybe 20, 21. And I couldn't get Megan to pick me up from the airport, let alone have 12 friends see me off at the airport and wait until the very last second that I'm out of sight to leave. And I just thought like, I need to write a novel about this guy, George, and make up his whole life because he seems like, I don't know. I've just never seen anyone so adored by people.
So George was on the flight with you, and the friends had gone through security but didn't get on the flight.
No, so they like went around the security place to like say goodbye to him at the last minute. He wasn't on our flight, but he went through security with us.
Did you get any intel into what the was going on?
No. I don't know.
What do you want to believe?
I can't even begin to think what would warrant such a goodbye from 14, 20-year-old men.
I mean,
who cares
is it
that
possible
much?
Is it possible he was sick?
No, he looks young and healthy and vibrant.
Do you think he was like a boy mayor elected at a young age?
Mayor of Icetown?
That's right.
I have no idea. Pat, I can't even begin to think
Was he a handsome fella?
They were all good looking. Like, it looks like they...
Was George a handsome fella?
Yeah.
How handsome?
He was an 8.
Oh, wow. Well, that aspect of it, I would say, wouldn't hurt his chances of getting a farewell. Such a farewell.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Where was he headed?
I have no idea.
Into the night?
I have no idea. It sounded like maybe he was going far away, but he only had a small bag with him. I guess he could have checked multiple bags, but...
I think George would be slaving away to the man carrying around a large carry-on. I think not, friend.
I have so many questions. So many
like
questions.
What? Lay them on me. Let's work through this.
Like, how did you convince that many people to just absolutely fall in love with you as a friend? Like, I have 2 friends, you and Zach.
Is it possible that he is married to all of them? And they have like a sex thing. Like a polygamous household that not only still takes each other to the airport, which is very sweet because usually in a relationship that kind of endearment fades, as pointed out in the movie Harry Met Sally, which is a classic. But to have like part of the household rules would be like we all have to still take each other to the airport and wave goodbye and just remind each other every time. Instead of getting annoyed with such a menial task, we would go nuts for it and like really play up the fact that safe travels, we love you, we hope. Is there a chance that this is what was going on?
Well, there's another aspect to this that I never even considered until just now.
Mm-hmm.
There were 14 people. Any SUV at most carries 7. So they took minimum of 2 cars, probably more realistically 4 cars.
Or, I'd like to believe, a large family van.
Right. So
that also has room for their band equipment.
How many
the question is,
vehicles
do they write originals or do they cover early REM music?
But I'm just thinking, how many times did they pay for parking at this airport? I have so many questions.
Whenever one of them travels and they're wishing them goodbye.
Anyways, that's George. I think all the listeners of the show can maybe get together and we can all start writing many short stories about George and his travels and adventures.
It sounds like it'd be warranted.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get to Dallas, or we get to Fort Worth.
Right, yeah. So the plane takes off, flies in the air.
Good time.
Lands as planned.
Yep. Nailed it.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, we end up in Fort Worth at like, I don't know, midnight, and nothing was within a mile of the hotel. So we walked a mile to IHOP to eat because I hadn't eaten since like breakfast that morning. And just...
So you go get breakfast.
Yeah. Super hot. I forgot what humidity felt like, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were up until maybe 2:00, and that remained consistent the entire time I was out of town. And I go to bed at 9:30 typically. I still feel like I'm recovering from so many late nights in a row. But the second day was really, honestly, one of the best days I can remember in a long time. Training was fun. We learned about Tesla power walls, and we got to ride a Tesla, which is always fun. But after that, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go back to the hotel and do some editing. And I got a little distracted. I was watching YouTube tutorials on how to do like card-based magic tricks. And
wow.
And
your dream vacation?
So the dude Andrew that I'm with texts me and he's like, hey man, you want to go into Dallas? And I was like, I think I'm going to stay here and watch YouTube tutorials on card-based magic tricks. But then there was a podcaster that I really enjoy who we're acquaintances, and he lives in Dallas. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, going to be in Dallas if you want to hang out. And he said, sure, if time prevented it. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to Dallas, say yes to the adventure, go to the islands, whatever. And it started off kind of a train wreck, pretty expensive, Uber to the train, and then took something from the train. It was like a long travel, and I started to think like, damn, maybe I should have just stayed home. But this dude, Andrew, just lives her adventure, I guess. And he's like, yeah, I heard about this bike rental place where you rent a bike, and when you're done, you just kind of like set it down on the ground and then someone can just like pick it up and ride it, So we get on these little rental bikes, and forgot to mention this. I bought a gimbal, like a Steadicam for my iPhone. So I started thinking, just, go out and do some video, get to use this toy that I just bought. So we hop on these bikes, and Pat, I used to be, not as much now, a pretty aggressive bicyclist with several custom built racing bikes. So the thought of getting on these rental like granny bikes it felt like a difficult thing to come to terms with, but once I was on it, it just felt carefree, no worries in the world. And
I would think as a former bike enthusiast, just the thought of getting back on two wheels again would be exhilarating in some kind of primal way.
Well, when you start spending thousands of dollars on custom bikes, you get a little snobby about it, I guess, and that's where I was.
So you've lost your original love for the whole sport?
Yep, I guess so.
You've changed, man. You got to get back to your roots, what you started riding for.
So we're ripping around, and I was like, man, I have this camera. We should do like some really high energy, like action video where we're doing super mundane things on these bicycles, like 1-inch bunny hops or just riding down stairs, and just put like extreme, Sure. So we're doing these videos, and we're riding around and just trying to find different parks and stuff. And we come across these two kids that are just dancing on this outdoor stage, this huge stage. Just two kids with a little Bluetooth jam box, and they were shuffling, and it's a dance move thing style that I've really been wanting to learn for years, like years and years and years. And I kind of stopped and watched them a little bit with Andrew, and I was like, dude, should I go up and see if they'll like teach me how to? Because again, I've been wanting to learn forever, and I don't know anyone who.
Well, you always talk about it.
Yeah. Listeners of the show will know.
Yo.
So it was so funny.
You want to be shuffling across the Japanese countryside in a night or whatever motorbike. While
right.
I don't know what else.
I haven't even told you about my new fascination yet. Oh God.
Whoa, God.
So I walk up to these kids, and I'm thinking,
can you play club horns now? And we'll be like, that's the sound you hear when Tom's fascination is revealed later in this very episode. So here they are now. And listen for that sound, because it will mean that we have revealed Tom's new fascination.
So I'm walking up to these kids, and I'm thinking like, I'm just going to do it, man. I'm in Dallas. I'm never going to see these people again. If they're just like, dude, you're weird, go away. No harm, no foul. So I'm walking up, and like, I got like nervous, and I like went down to like tie my shoe, and like went back to Andrew. I was like, I can't do it. So he's like, all right. He's like, all right, well then let's go. If you're not going to ask
What would George do, dude?
What
would George do?
George would have went up and probably taught them a thing or two.
Wow.
He's so
Yeah, it probably would have been sage as hell too. The advice. Like, it would have been one of those G.I. Joe things. Like,
so I was just like, f it. I'm just gonna go do it. So I walked up, and I wasn't sure if it was like a lesson. Like, that was my biggest concern, was that like there was a guy and a girl, and the guy was super good, but this girl was like crazy good. I was like, I don't know, maybe it's a lesson, maybe they're practicing for something. So I walked up and
shuffling,
right? That's shuffling, right?
Right.
Link in the show notes for anyone who doesn't know what shuffling looks like.
For anyone worth their weight in dancing. Yeah. Go teach yourself about the wonders of shuffling.
So I walk up, and I'm like, hey, is this like a private lesson, or can I join or something? And this girl was like, yeah, dude, get up here. So I walk up, and so weird. I didn't even like introduce myself, say my name or anything. And it was just like, yeah, so do you dance? And for the past few years, I've been told that I'm a good dancer, but I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't feel like I'm good, but people have said that, right? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I used to go out and dance with friends, but like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, well, dance. Like, show me. I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen, man. Like, we were outdoors with people around on this massive stage. I don't think I can just like dance. So I told them I wanted to learn how to shuffle for years. And they were just hyped. They were like, yeah, this is the basic thing. And they were both really good teachers, actually. So I was there with them for like maybe an hour, and they were just teaching me the basics. And also like, and once you learn this, then you can start doing this variation of it. And I was just like, hey, I brought this little Steadicam. I'm making like a quick video of just like my travels. Would it be weird if I just like asked to film you guys dancing for like a couple seconds so I can put it in the video? So I get the camera out, film this thing. I'm just kind of running in circles around them. And the girl ended up leaving. Guy later, I found out his name was Jonathan, and we're Facebook friends now. And I was just
like, listen, man, I know you're not George, but you'll have to do.
Well, I was like, man, I'll tag you. I'll tag you in the video. And like, I really fell in love with Dallas, Pat. Like, I think it's a gorgeous city. I don't want to live there or anything.
Did I just hear club horns?
But
not yet.
No, but it's a weirdly.
I thought it was.
No.
Okay, I'll keep an ear out.
It's a weirdly beautiful city. Yeah, so there's a video. I'll put it somewhere. elemental.fm/reminiscent/78. Quick little thing. It shows us ripping around on bikes. Jonathan and Aaron dancing. But I ended up like adding both of them on Facebook. Because I wanted to tag them. And now we're talking about me going back to Dallas to film like a whole dance video for them.
Whoa.
And I'm talking...
Career path?
Dude, I already have so many sequences planned out. There's green screens involved, man. It's I'm excited. I really want to get down there as soon as I can because, dude, the city was so beautiful. Like, I loved all the little parks. There was a lot of fountains. Big fan of water features these days. And it was just fun to ride around in, and it was beautiful.
Did you go to Deep Ellum?
I didn't. You were the second person to bring that up. I have no idea what that is.
It's just a neighborhood. It's like their hip corner. You might have gone through that. I don't know. Last time I was there, Jesse's friends took us to, I guess I don't know, every town has their place where people serve in mason jars, and that's theirs, I guess.
You're so against mason jars. Every glass in my house
I'm just
is
like,
a mason jar, Pat.
It's just like, we've made it, guy. Like, hey, Midwest. Listen to us roar, because we have a street where things are getting served in mason jars.
Your culture is ours now.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, nothing against Deep Ellum. I had a great time there. Or mason jars. Or the Midwest. Or liquids getting served in cups. They're all good things.
Yeah. Well, I think that every time that I leave Denver...
Well, you talked about this before. This is like, can we file this under Tom left the house and had a great time exploring this beautiful world? Like, every time the show's not about us, like, being at home, we're like, hey, man, I think we're all going to be okay.
You can tell.
I went to talk to some people face to face, and it was fucking dope.
So just hanging out with this dude, Andrew, who I just found out lives down the house from me. We might start building model rockets.
Andrew, who is not Jonathan and also not George.
And neither is it Aaron. Lots of characters in the story.
Yes. Well, hey, God, just keeping track.
Right.
This is the guy that was on the plane with you.
Yes.
And he was the guy.
I work with him as well.
Who was like, I'll show up to the airport when I want to show up to the airport.
Right.
I don't play by your fucking rules, man.
Right. So...
Okay, just as long as I had it right. That's him. Okay, got it.
I keep thinking I could have just been at the hotel watching awful YouTube videos all night. And instead, I had the time of my life, right? Like, I feel like...
owe it all to Andrew.
I feel like every time I have social encounters outside, I don't know,
You had a good time in Cincy. Like, we were like, let's go outside. And we were like, yeah. And then you ended up talking to everybody at the ice rink that day. Like, you became mayor of ice rink. You were no ice clown on that day, good sir.
Mayor of the ice rink. So, I don't know, man. It was just like... And also, I've done nothing but edit podcasts for the past 3 months. Like, sure. I've been doing a lot of 16-hour days between Tesla and podcasting. You've been in the middle
of a career and lifestyle and kind of a life pivot to a degree. So you've been on the grind, as it were.
Sure.
So you deserved a little time off.
So yeah, it was just, I feel like it was really, I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be a day that I will not forget for a long time, ever, possibly.
Whoa, dude.
Just hanging out with Andrew, Jonathan, and Aaron were the coolest fucking people I've ever met. And
Shout out to the nice people who treated my friend well. I love you all. Have we gotten to your new fascination yet?
No.
Ooh.
I don't know, dude. I just I feel kind of emotional talking about it. Yeah,
Do you want to move to Denver? Do you want to be more active in your community? Do you want to what's the takeaway here? What's running through your heart? What's making you get up every day, man? What do you feel, Tom? What would George do? Speak to me. Where'd you go? Come back to me.
I think it's solidified that I don't like Denver.
Whoa. Okay. Something that we might have known.
Sure. And
right.
I just kept thinking maybe it was just because I don't have friends here, right? If I get friends here, again, I haven't been here that long. I've been mainly focused on just making money. But if I had friends here, would that change my mind? Probably. I mean, I would have more of a reason to like it.
Have you been there a full calendar year?
Year and a half, yeah.
Okay. I would say usually 2 years, right? 2 years is when you really start to when you really know, I guess, right?
Sure.
Or you have given yourself a real chance. Some people say 6 months, but I'm like, 6 months is nothing.
Yeah, Jesus.
You have to be there at least a full calendar year, I would argue, to at least give yourself a chance at having a feel for giving this anything a fair shot, really.
And I think if listeners go back to episode, was it 1? You would probably hear me speak pretty highly of Denver. It was fun and exciting.
Can we play a clip?
No, I don't have time for that.
Here we go, folks. Roll it now.
Boy, I really love Denver.
We just decided to go, man, and the mountains are so beautiful, and I made a video for that one, too.
The mountains are beautiful, but I don't think Denver is really Megan and I had this conversation because I was
Pueblo's the new Aspen, dude. Get over it, all right? Hey, Aspen's over. It's over. It's Pueblo, okay? Deal with it.
The thing that I loved about Dallas is they had so many parks and they all had fountains in them. And Megan was like, Denver has tons of parks. And that's true, but they're just and this is going to sound so shitty, right? They're just big open spaces with nothing in it. Which is Earth, right?
Yo, Denver's got these open spaces and it's awful.
But I think what I liked about Dallas is the parks were built into the downtown center. In Denver, downtown is nothing. And also downtown Denver is either neighborhoods with sporadic open spaces or downtown, which is just a grid of buildings.
So you're trying to tell me they built in open green spaces to their downtown urban area?
Dallas did, yeah.
Whoa, what about Denver?
I mean, it's a little outside of the city. And again, it's just it's nothing. But the thing I liked about Dallas, it was the city was intentionally, I feel it maybe didn't get as big as Denver as quickly or something, because it seemed they had time to plan shit out. And I think I left a part of my heart in Dallas, Pat.
What comes next? You're soon to be a married man, and life is full of tough choices. What's the vibe?
I don't know, man. I just feel.
Give me a takeaway before we move on. I don't want to leave. Don't let the shuffling Aaron and the mysterious George make us leave this episode without at least something to lead you and point you in the right direction as you embrace the world, which is your oyster park.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that life is definitely better with friends, right? With other people in it. You know that.
Okay. So you're making a bold claim that that man needs companionship and sense of community?
I mean, you say bold jokingly, but the past year and a half, I've been dude, I just want to be alone forever, right? For me to say that out loud, it kind of does feel like a big thing.
All right. I have not been schooled in the psychological arts, so if we just hit a breakthrough, I've been doing this very amateur pro bono work for 2 years now. And we could have hit so many barriers and breakthroughs at this point, and I could not have named any of them. But if we can call this one, and that is big and good, and I am proud.
Yeah.
And the vibes are strong.
But I think about the actual takeaway is I do want to make friends.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could just hang out with Jonathan and Aaron all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sure.
because I kind of don't want to make friends in Denver because I don't want to fucking be here much longer. 2 years max, and I'm out.
That's a long time.
Megan and I have both kind of agreed to that.
Whoa, that's new.
I mean, not the 2 years things, but like we're not going to be here for like that long.
Damn.
What's next, I guess, is the question. But
Sure.
yeah, life is better with friends in it, but I don't super want to make them here. I don't know, man. I just walking around downtown doesn't feel like it hasn't ever felt like it did just bopping around Dallas. It was.
I would say that one of two things. It's okay if Denver's not your place. And two, is it possible that it was vacation mindset? Like you fall in love with a place that you don't have to go through the doldrums of life with?
I'm self-aware enough to know that that's a factor, right? But
Sure.
I don't think I've ever had, with the exception of like the first couple weeks of like living here, but then I was only I don't know, man. I don't think Denver's my place. I really don't. I don't think Dallas is either. Like, if you can move Dallas to a different part in the country, maybe. Like, I don't want to be in Texas,
Would you say it was Zelda?
What?
I don't know. I just took a chance at connecting with you on a video game level we've never been able to connect on before.
It was Super Zelda.
Nice, dude. I know you so well.
So anyways, yeah, that was super. It was just fun. I sat on the grassy knoll.
That would be Zelda for you, dude.
I sat on the grassy knoll and looked over where
the knoll.
Yeah, the knoll, dude. I got a video of that too.
How did that make you feel?
Oddly, it made me feel something because we went to the whole 6th floor museum and saw like the whole museum of like the JFK assassination and got to see where Lee Harvey Oswald like did it. Like it was crazy. It's a very, very good museum. I didn't really understand the impact of it learning it in school because school is pretty much, I don't know, useless.
Hey now.
But anyways, Dallas,
learning,
good time.
As my brother would say, education doesn't have to stop after graduation, my boy.
I don't think education starts until after you graduate.
Whoa.
Like, real. I feel, yeah. Sounds like a sound bite, but for real.
I'm just going to go on record and say I disagree. Pay teachers more, fund public schools.
Yeah.
Education's important.
For sure. But it at the same time. So anyways, recap.
The fighting continues.
Recap, Dallas is dope. I can't wait to go back and hang out with some new friends and do some cool video stuff and just learn how to dance more. Because, yeah, I
still got to watch the video. I have not yet seen Aaron's moves and Jonathan's moves.
They're pretty killer. So
we've learned something today.
Yeah.
And that felt good and wholesome.
Felt great, Pat. I'm still weirdly emotionally f***ed up about it.
Did you tell Megan?
Yeah, I just told her I had a super good time. And
what'd she say? Would she ever go there?
I don't think she has any desire to, I mean, I wouldn't go if I wasn't sent there for training, but I tried to go back every day after we went. Fort Worth is like an hour away, and we were taking Ubers in to go hang out in Dallas.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a good time. It made an impression on me. I'll think differently about. The one thing I kept saying when we were in Texas was like, man, everything is so small here. Everything is smaller in Texas.
Did it get the response you wanted?
I felt a little nervous, so I said it quietly to Andrew every time.
Okay, I think it could work as that, like a joke between buds.
Right.
If you were like harassing locals,
right.
It's small, then that would have just been like a weird YouTube video that actually might have gone. I don't know. You could probably make a YouTube video. It's just like saying the opposite of cliches in every American city you're in. You get signed by Logan Paul and you'd make $1,000 million.
Dude's not even on YouTube anymore.
We all know how we feel about YouTubers at this program.
We don't have enough time, Pat.
We don't have enough time. We never actually got into it. We just blindly say. Anyway, we've already talked about it too much airtime. Wait, what's your new obsession?
Ooh, aquascaping.
Oh!
Yeah, it's we don't have time to talk about it now. Maybe next week, but aquascaping.
Yeah, I guess we're out.
John.
I'm gonna go ahead and recommend this song called "My Computer Just Became Self-Aware." It's a new comedy music album, I think. Whatever. But by Trevor Moore, formerly of the sketch comedy group Whitest Kids You Know. He was recently on Chris Hardwick's podcast acknowledging that the name of that sketch comedy group has not aged well. But the new album is pretty funny. And it's nice to see him still working, I guess, because I don't know, anyone who used to watch, what was he on, Fuse for a little while?
Yeah.
And probably MTV, maybe not MTV, but plenty of laughs. I think they had a movie, but I don't know, the movie did very well. Anyway, the album's kind of funny, and it's worth your 2 seconds on Spotify. Just check it out. Go give him a play.
I've been listening to the album. When you wrote it down, I thought it was like a stand-up comedy album.
No, yeah, I guess he's pretty into music and touring lately, but it's like comedy music. Kind of,
but also
I don't know.
he
It's a
can't
weird
sing at all, and that's part of the joke. Is that it's
0%.
But yeah, that song is so funny. I watched the music video right before we started recording. My God, it's so good, and yeah, he's hilarious.
I haven't seen the video. I just heard it. I'll have to watch the video.
You don't. I feel like the video doesn't add too much. Like the song is just so funny.
Oh, okay.
But I've been really wanting more female vocal-driven electronic music. I've been a big fan of Odessa for a little bit, but after dancing with Jonathan in there, and I'm like, dude, I need more.
Yeah,
I just need more.
Life-changing experience.
Right. So I put a call out to Facebook asking for different artists that are along the same lines, and my friend Jeff recommended a guy or a group called Illenium, and he called it the future of emo. And I just thought,
whoa.
How could electronic music, I was so intrigued by his comment. I think he's kind of spot on, man. It's a great record. There's a song called Where'd You Go that I'm really vibing right now. I've really been loving the singing throughout the verses, but then the chorus is just like broken up vocalizations where the voice is played like as an instrument rather than actually singing words and phrases and stuff. But yeah, the song Where'd You Go, the girl's voice is awesome. I wouldn't mind if every voice on the album was Alicia Cara, but super good.
Ooh.
Super good.
I would have to say the female artists I've been digging in the last year, not that you asked, Laura Stevenson, Courtney Barnett, Maggie Rogers.
Maren Morris.
No, but yeah, she's good. My Church is a good tune. Was that one of my recommendations?
From a while ago, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Julian Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we would, hopefully anyway, good. That's good. I like, yep.
So, yeah.
Again, thanks for asking, and I'm glad you have accepted my answer for if I had to list 5 female artists that I've enjoyed in the past calendar year.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, it's over. The show's over, everybody.
It's done. Bye.
It's done.
Love you, dude. Talk to you later.
Bye. Love you.